Children at a wedding. Really difficult conversation.
My darling, I love you, 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 I love you.
So, it's a really difficult conversation. I would like to put a disclaimer out right now. I do not have children. So I feel like it was okay for me to stipulate that I didn't really want a lot of children at my wedding. Majority of my friends have 2 to 3 children. So if you're inviting 25 couples and they all have 2 to 3 children, the numbers just get ridiculous. The policy that we took was babes in arms. That literally means in arms. That means a baby that doesn't require a seat or food at the table. I also made the requirement that should said beautiful, darling, dear, gorgeous baby scream their head off through my ceremony, you get the hell out. Really inappropriate, but totally true. I absolutely had 2 page boys and 3 flower girls because they're super cute and they were like my bridesmaids' children. That for me, it was totally appropriate for them to have those roles. Now, on the flip side, I've seen weddings that were massively children dominated and the couple had 3 children themselves. You know, all their children were there with their best friends and, you know, the couple's friendship groups were based around the children. They'd met them at schools or nurseries or etc. So that's also okay to have it that way where you have, you know, a big group of children and they're all like having fun together. It's so personal and it's such a personal thing. But I think it's just so important that the people that don't have children that want to have a child-free wedding, like that is totally okay. I would say if you're having more than a couple of children at your wedding, you need to hire a child's entertainer. Hire a child's entertainer to keep the children occupied and entertained, but also keep them supervised. I've seen it happen so many times where there is a mad panic because someone's lost their child. And that person had their child close to them. They got excited, involved in a conversation with someone, and then they turned around and the kid's gone missing. And they've never gone far, but it's that heart-stopping moment where suddenly all the guests have to stop what they're doing to try and find this child that's usually sitting underneath a tablecloth somewhere, having the time of their lives. But particularly when you have a venue that has water, a lot of venues have lakes, a lot of venues have streams and things like this. It's like you do not want to be losing a 4-year-old child under those circumstances. Period. It also needs to be made known, and this is something that I think is like really important to understand, that it's actually illegal for both parents to get drunk and then have supervision of their child. One of the parents has to stay sober. They have to stay sober enough to be able to drive a car. Should anything happen to that child and they need to get to hospital, they need to be sober enough to tell the police that they were responsible and looking after that child. Otherwise, you will get done by child services. Also, do not be that horrible person that puts the venue in trouble, that buys their 16-year-old child, you know, a couple of glasses of wine because, you know, well, they should have a good time. It's like, no, it's against the law. It's not a good thing to do. Someone is calling me. Hi, I'm just doing videos. Just go with the flow. Awesome. I'll take whatever you're giving me. Bye. Phone call finished. Again, I think another thing to really think about is it's not always fair to ask your mum or your sister to be the person responsible for your child on your wedding day. So if you have children and they are there at the wedding, it's really nice to hire a nanny. And that nanny is the person that supervises your children, because you will not be able to supervise your children. But it's also unfair to ask your mum to do so, because she will want to be part of your day and will want to be talking to the guests and, you know, showing off the fact that her daughter or son has just gotten married. So you really want her to have that experience. You also don't want her to be leaving early to put the kids to bed. Mums will agree to do it, but I think, you know, if you are financially able to hire a babysitter, and that doesn't have to be like, you know, a full-scale Mary Poppins nanny. I'm talking like, you know, you've got some good friends and they have a 16, 17-year-old daughter that's responsible, or son, you know, and that person is like willing to come to the wedding and just be the person that follows your kids around the whole day and the whole evening and then goes and sits with them in the room until you're done. In conclusion, if you are going to have children at your wedding, think about it from a child-proof perspective. Check with your venue, make sure your venue are comfortable, what their children policy is, and, just really check with your guests and just say, we want to invite you as a family with the children. You are fully responsible for your children. Please make sure that you take every precaution needed to make sure that you guys have the best time and the children are totally safe. And, they do make a really cute addition to the wedding, particularly if they are page boys and flower girls. And, you can generally count on children to get the party started on the dance floor because they just go for it. So, yes, bit dramatic this one, but have fun.